Hi, it's so good to be here.
So excited about having you on the show today.
Yes, very excited.
Anytime we have alumni come back on campus, it's always great to catch up.
Absolutely.
Now, for all of our listeners, you graduated before our campus renovation was complete.
Yes.
So what does it feel like to come on campus today and see what SEU Carolina has become?
Well, when I got here, I started walking through the library. I was like, oh, these kids have no idea how good they got it. It's so beautiful. I'm so jealous, but it's also like, it's great because it's everything that the students before them prayed for, and that they are just soaking in the blessings of all the prayers and effort put in before them. So
yeah, they definitely don't know how good they got it.
Yeah.
Now I think for you were with us in a few different seasons.
Yes.
There was a season when you were remotely online on the Outer Banks. Mm-hmm. You're an OBXer.
I am.
Have you watched the Outer Banks show?
I've watched the first season.
No. Wait a second, Peyton. What does that mean? I've watched the first season. Like you watched the first season and didn't really like it and you're kind of like, eh. Or like you just haven't had time to finish it because you love it so much and you just really talk to me, Peyton. Talk to me.
Here's the thing is I probably didn't even watch the first season until like after a year it came out because I was like, I want no parts of it. I was like, because I know it wasn't filmed there. Okay. I know it's not accurate. So I was like, okay. But of course, everyone loves it.
Of course we do. We love it.
So then I watched it and like you just get so like the small things like how are you taking a ferry from the Outer Banks to Raleigh?
I said it.
Who is?
I said it in Arden's interview, I think. I was like mind blown.
Where's the water? In which passage of water are you taking?
Yeah, spoken like a true North Carolina native. So during your time learning remotely with us, with SEU Carolina, what was that like for you, just being remote and being at a distance?
Well, that was because I was doing that during COVID.
Okay.
So that was my first time doing like a remote class. And I loved it a lot. I got to learn at my own pace because I was still living at home. And I got to learn at my own pace. And I was still meeting people and my professors through the Zoom calls. And so I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
One of the things that I love that SEU Carolina makes available for our remote learners is they really get the chance to choose what their experience is like. Right. They can choose to just do the work, meet the deadlines, turn in the stuff, and never show up for a class, or they can watch a recording of the lecture, should they desire, or they can join asynchronously and join live when the class is offered. Which options did you take?
Oh, I did all of it. So I really did.
All of the above?
I would always, I think for the most part, I'd always try to join the Zoom call as it was happening. And from what I remember they were also recorded. So I could also go back and watch the recording. Just like, thank God. Like someone gets so distracted so easily. It was so nice to be able to go back because I was like, oh, I think I need to write that down. Yeah. So I would go back and watch the Zoom calls too. So, it's great because you have the opportunity to do all three of those whenever you can. So.
Well, I'm glad that you had a great remote learner experience with us. Now, you actually transitioned from a remote learner to a traditional campus student who lived in housing, getting the full on-campus experience. So why did you make that transition?
Well, that was still like in my second year of college type age. And so I'm actually like a transfer. So I went to a different university my freshman year of college. Okay. I went to Appalachian State.
Okay. App State.
Yeah, go Deers. And COVID happened. So moved back home and did some community college work that semester. I came back home. Yeah. Then of course, next semester I transitioned to SEU Carolina. And I was like, I miss people. Yeah. I miss people. I miss community. I know that I need it. Yeah. I know that I would need community to be able to grow. So I was like, I'm going to come on campus. So that's why I made the decision to come on campus.
Love it. Love it. So how did you know that SEU Carolina was the place for you?
Here's the thing. I didn't. So it was one of those crazy things. I don't even remember how I heard. I believe I heard about SEU Carolina through a friend of mine who was thinking of coming. Okay. And I was like, all right. And then it's one of those moments, because during COVID, it was rough for everybody. But for me, leaving the school that I was at, I was really praying for, God, what is my next move? I have no idea. I was changing my major. I mean, my whole life was different.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things I was praying for, God, please show me what is the next move. And I think maybe something showed up on Instagram, or I don't remember what it was, but SEU Carolina came up on my radar, and I was like, all right. I was like, I guess this is it. I had never thought of going into a ministry school or going into ministry at all. But I was like, all right, if this is it, then I'm not saying no. So that was, and so I had no idea what my experience would be like. I just was like, all right, God, I'm just saying yes. And it ended up being the greatest decision ever, not knowing anything.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a few more. We're going to dive into some more questions. However, I'd like to ask a fun question, just to kind of loosen things up a bit. Okay. If your college years were a movie, what would the title be?
Oh. Wow. It'd probably be like a soap opera or something. Like I was thinking Young and the Restless.
Okay.
Because we're all young, we got no sleep.
Young and Restless. I love it because we're all young and nobody's getting any sleep.
Yeah, so maybe that.
Okay. We'll go with Young and Restless. Now, would this premiere in theaters or would it premiere on Netflix?
Oh, no, it's definitely a series.
Yeah.
It's not a movie. It's a series. We got a lot to cover, and we don't have enough time.
Okay. I love it. Okay, so let's talk about memorable college moments. If you had to pick one defining moment from your college years, what would it be?
Gosh, one?
And I know that's hard, and we can even talk about several. It doesn't matter. It could be fun, lighthearted. It could be serious, intense. But just what's a defining moment for you that was memorable?
I think, which it would kind of be like, what are we defining? But if we go like one that I don't think I'll ever forget, and one that just I think about constantly.
Okay.
So I was taking a sermon writing class, which, never thought I'd do that in my life. Never intended on like anything. But I was taking a sermon writing class, and my sermon was picked to preach in front of for SU Chapel.
Okay. I
was like, y'all got the wrong one.
Were you nervous?
Oh my gosh, I had no idea what I was doing. I was very nervous to say the least. I kind of, when I tend to like publicly speak, I kind of black out and don't remember anything that I did. Okay. But I did it, and it wasn't so much the feedback of like, oh yeah, you did a good job, but it was like, no, I needed that word, and they were really touched, and they felt the presence of God and the message, and they felt like God was speaking to them. And it was that moment afterwards, I was like, oh, like that wasn't about me. Like that wasn't about me being nervous. That wasn't about me finishing a project. That was God using me to do something, and it actually touched somebody. I was like, oh, is that? And I will always remember that whole moment.
The moment because God used you.
Yeah, it was crazy because growing up in church, or anyone, going to church and watching people preach, it's like, you see that in other people. You get that in other people. It's like, of course, God used them for this gift and talent. I was like, it ain't me. I was like, I'm just doing what I'm told to do. And
I love that.
Yeah, so it was awesome.
I love that. But isn't that so true? Isn't that such a true representation of Scripture, how God is constantly using the weak to lead the strong, or the people that might be unnoticed or overlooked? It's never who you think or what you think. It's almost like when David was chosen as king. It was looking upon everybody that was suspecting, and it's like God's anointing is not among here. So I'm glad you got that opportunity for God to use you. So I have another question. Who was a professor, mentor, or friend that had a big impact on you while you were here?
Wow. So I would say Jonathan Martin was a good one. And he was like my first in-person one. He did personal stewardship.
Okay. You know what? I'm so glad that you mentioned Jamar, because for me, I totally blacked out and forgot who else taught personal stewardship, because I knew Zach Witt did, and he sent everybody through CrossFit. He had people blowing chunks in the fun gym. But some of the students had personal stewardship with a different professor, and I couldn't remember for the life of me who that was.
I was blessed and highly favored. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So no CrossFit for y'all?
No, we did yoga. That was embarrassing. Okay. But that was, he was just awesome.
So what stood out for J-Mark to you?
He encouraged discussion very much. And I say like he was so important because he was kind of like the first one. He wasn't the only one, but he was kind of the first one to introduce that. He encouraged the discussion between his classmates, and he would leave us because we'd be like, well, Jamer, what do you think? And he was like, doesn't matter what I think. He was like, this is just up for y'all's discussion. So it was, the topics he was just awesome. That was probably like a defining moment for me. It was like, oh, what I think and kind of have to say matters.
Okay.
So that was great. And
so that would be a professor.
Yes.
Okay. What about mentor? Who would be a mentor that had a big impact on you?
So I would say David and Kim, who I did Multiply Marriage with. Okay. I did my internship with them.
Okay. Because they were on staff doing marriage counseling.
They were doing marriage counseling.
And you wanted counseling, experience, exposure.
Yes.
And because you were studying what, psychology?
I was doing psychology, yes.
Okay. So why do you say them?
I did not. So when I was told, like when I was kind of being led towards this was my internship, I was like, what am I going to do in marriage counseling? Okay. It's like this, I'm not married. I was like, I didn't even want to go in this field. I was like, what am I going to? They were so awesome. They really, when I would be with them, they were intentional they would give me textbooks. They would just talk with me about what biblical marriage is. Okay. They were very intentional about including me in their discussions. Yeah. And I learned a lot about what a God-centered marriage is going to be like and what it should look like. And it was amazing. They were so awesome. I love and miss them.
All right. So that's a professor, that's a mentor. What about a friend? What about a friend that had a big impact on you?
All of them. I just had the best friends. And whenever we would have our little meetings, it'd be like my favorite part about the school is my friends. But the people that God has given me and the school has given me.
It was definitely a close-knit community.
Yes.
And I would say more than friends, it was family.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It was definitely a bond, which I love. That's one of the things I think is a hallmark of our program because we're a small school. Yeah. You're going to know everybody. Yeah. You're going to know everybody's skeletons. You're going to know everything about everybody. Oh, yeah. So what's a funny or unexpected experience you had during college? Now, I must lead with this just so you're aware. The thawing of the meat story has been shared. It has been shared multiple times. Okay, for our listeners who do not know, Peyton is the one who decided to thaw meat in the bathroom sink. Now, Peyton, let's just expand on this for a moment. Sure. What were you thinking?
Listen.
What was in the sink, in the kitchen? That was such an insurmountable task that you had to use the bathroom sink. I'm sure there's a reason.
There's many.
Okay. She's about to name names. This is about to get good.
There's many. So I don't recall exactly if there was something maybe in the sink. I do remember I didn't know at the time how to stop the sink. Maybe I couldn't find the stopper. Okay. I was like, maybe I'm going to use that as my excuse. Okay. Or maybe I just thought the kitchen sink was gross. I was like, I can't put food in there and eat it. I was like, but the bathroom sink seems a lot cleaner. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to use this bathroom sink. Yeah. Why not? What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? That might be a good movie title.
That's the name of my college experience. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. Let's go to SEU Carolina. What could possibly go wrong? Let's do counseling. What could possibly go wrong? Let's put meat in the sink.
Have you shared on the podcast what happened after that?
Tell us your side, because we have got Rachel's perspective. We have got Amanda's perspective.
Amanda didn't even live there.
Because she didn't live in the house?
No, not in that house.
Really?
Because I don't know if we were RAs at the time yet or not. But I think she might have been in the other house.
Okay.
So my perspective of what happened.
Yes.
So I was throwing meat in the sink.
It was a crisp autumn day in America.
Yeah, probably. I think so. Sounds about right. Setting the scene. I'm thawing meat in the sink. So I leave the water running to get like warm, just so it's continually getting warm in the sink.
Makes sense.
Why not?
Yeah.
I walk away from, I think I was like also cleaning.
Okay.
The house. So I was like, this will be fine. And I walked away.
Okay.
And I come back and the sink is overflowing and there's water on my floor. I was like, easy mistake. I was like, you know what? I'll just clean this up.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Okay.
Water and wood.
Yeah.
What could happen? Approximately 6 months later, I know I'm definitely RA at this time.
Yeah.
And my cabinet in my bathroom is kind of coming apart.
Yeah.
Like the wood's a little loose. Door's kind of coming off a little bit.
Yeah.
What could have possibly caused that? So I go to my great academic advisor, Pastor Kevin Smith. I was like, listen, academic director, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's like, listen, there's something wrong with my bathroom sink and I don't know what could have done it. I don't, beats me, sir. I'm just here. I'm just the messenger. I'm just doing my job. This sink is broken and I don't know what could have done it. Lo and behold, a couple moons later, I shared this story about thawing meat in my sink.
Do you remember how I found out?
Yeah, it was when I was doing the little...
There was a preview day.
Yes, preview
and you
day.
were sharing stories.
Yeah,
and I was in the room. I was like, at the edge of my seat. What is she going to say? I'm so excited for her to talk about how great this school is and how it's made an impact on her. Instead, you talked about how you flooded the bathroom in student housing. I'm like, what? Flooded the... Throwing meat in the bathroom? What's happening?
In the middle of me sharing this story. And he was like, so that's why the bathroom sink fell apart.
Yeah, there we go.
And I was like, yep, that's, wow, you put two and two together for me. I was like, oh, yeah, maybe that had something to do with it.
The more you know. So that was definitely an unexpected experience during college for sure. Mm-hmm. So talk to me about living in housing. What was that like for you living on campus? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were your roommates a nightmare? What was that like for you? I
don't think I would have made it as far in my academic journey if I didn't live in housing. I wouldn't have the friends I have as close as we are still today if I didn't live in housing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have the friendships or relationships I do with the leaders here at SEU, at Multiply.
Yeah.
If I wasn't in leadership, I wasn't in housing. It just, because you literally live right across the street. You can't go anywhere. You form a different kind of bond. I mean, that happens when you live with anybody. You form a bond with that person you live with.
Yeah.
And you're sharing experiences together so you can relate to each other. If you're struggling with the class, hey, I'm also taking that class, or hey, I've taken that class, let me help you.
Yeah.
Or I'm struggling with my practical, I'm struggling with my work-life balance. Yeah. Whatever it is, you have people there genuinely praying for you, genuinely being there for you, helping you in any way. And I don't think my college experience would have been if I didn't live in housing.
Wow. Well, I lived across the street from y'all, so y'all were awesome neighbors.
I came and watched your dog.
Yes. Now, speaking of college experience, so you got to live the traditional on-campus life. So you're not only living in housing, but you're going to things like Welcome Week and SEU Conference. And as it pertains to Welcome Week in the fall, SEU Conference in the spring, is there anything that you remember that stood out to you in the experience that you remember that was either memorable, defining, exciting, fun?
Well, I would say both Welcome Week and SEU Conference are not only so much fun, but I think they're so important for the relationships that if you are coming on campus, they're so important with the relationships you have with the people you're going to school with.
Why would you say that?
You do a lot of stuff together, and you're going outside of school. You're going outside of that environment.
Yeah.
So we're going to monster truck bashes. We're going to arcade and bowling alley. We're going to baseball games. And that specifically just Welcome Week. So that is your time of meeting one another, getting to know each other's fun personalities, and just having a great time together. So I think that's so important for relationship and friendship bonding. And conference, I think, is so important because you're getting It's a part of growing. You're growing together. You're hearing from amazing speakers. People will preach the house down at SU conference. And you're doing that with people that you love and that you've grown together from the past school year.
Yeah.
And the times that we have together to debrief at the end when we're at the house at 1 o'clock in the morning.
No, correction, 3 a.m. 3 a.m. I'll never forget that time. Lewis was standing there. He's like, PK, I'm not feeling good. I need to go to bed. I said, oh no. I said, no one's going to bed. I was like, y'all are all sharing and you want to wait until everybody's done? It's 3 a.m. We're all finishing this together.
We're delusional
I was like,
at this point. And we got to be up at 5 the next morning.
Yeah, because we were going to a Disney park the next day.
Disney was the next day, yeah.
What park did we go to? Was it Magic Kingdom?
First year, we went to Magic Kingdom. Second year, we went to Hollywood Studios.
You were there for the Hollywood Studios trip?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was like, it rained cats and dogs like at the end of that, right?
Yes, sprinting. Oh, I could we don't have enough time for the stories I could share just for that Disney trip. Because remember when the 3 boys were running back? Oh my goodness.
So I do remember that trip. There was a student, and I think I only know about this because you told the story. There was a student that couldn't work the washing machine in Airbnb, and they were banging on the machine trying to get it to work. Is that correct? Is that what you walked up on?
Yes, because the room I was staying in was right. So it's like the washing machine. My room is right behind the washing.
You're connected to the laundry.
So again, we come back from Disney at like midnight. It had to have been like 11 or 12 at night.
Okay.
And again, we have to be up tomorrow to leave.
Yeah.
So all of our clothes are soaking wet and disgusting because it was raining and we've been sweating on the gross. And we're packing our stuff to leave the next day. So everyone's washing their shoes, washing their clothes. So there's probably 20 shoes in like the dryer at this point.
Yeah.
That in itself is running around banging.
Yeah,
you can imagine.
Yeah.
And so that happened. The banging of trying to get it to work, but really it's just there's 20 shoes in the dryer.
Yeah.
She's not working. And I will never forget because that whole end of that trip, I had my clothes in the washer and dryer because I'm trying to pack my stuff up. And so in between, I had put my clothes in the dryer. I guess someone else decided that they needed to dry their shoes. They took my clothes out of the dryer and put their shoes in.
Oh my
So when I wake up at 4 a.m. the next day to pack my stuff up, my clothes are soaking wet. And I was like, I'm going to have to pay $100 to check my bag because my gigantic bag is now 100 pounds because of my soaking wet clothes. But thank goodness that we were late to our flight because they just let us right on in. I didn't have to check my bag or nothing.
This is true. We almost missed that flight.
Oh, we walked in the airport. They were like, you don't have time. Go. Like they're waiting for you.
When we pulled up, I felt like we were going to rob a bank because I was like telling everybody, okay, bags in hand. All right, we're pulling up. Unlock the door. Doors open. Okay, go.
Oh, yeah.
It was like we were storming the beach in Normandy.
It was Home Alone. It was literally that scene in Home Alone where we're sprinting.
Now, funny story. Do you remember y'all got on the plane and me and Sarah were nowhere to be found?
Correct. I remember that. Because I remember texting everybody like, I missed the flight.
So we get to the gate and we get into that part of the airport and I don't see y'all anywhere. So then I'm like, oh, well, that's okay. They must be on the plane.
Right.
So that makes sense. And so I walked to at the terminal, I walked to the different gates and I didn't see Charlotte, North Carolina on any of the screens. So I said to myself, oh my goodness, well, what, maybe we missed a flight. So I said to one of the TSA employees, I was like, where is this flight? And they said, oh, that's in a whole different terminal. You're in the wrong terminal. And oh my gosh, I'll never forget it. We actually had to leave, go back through security. They were literally closing the door, and we were sprinting across the airport just to make that flight.
Yeah, they were not happy with us. They were like, I had stuff I wasn't allowed to have. I think I had a hairspray can. Like I had a bunch of liquids far more than I was allowed to.
Now these are great stories. It's great banter. And we could name names on this broadcast. For sure, as to the student that was solely responsible for this lateness. But I will not, because this is, we're good people. We are good people. But, oh, man, I'd love to name names right now.
He knows it's his fault.
All right. So Tell us what are you up to today? So you've graduated, and so what are you doing now?
So I live still in the area. So I live in Kannapolis. I just moved in back in March. Well, I guess I moved back here in the area in August.
Mm-hmm.
Then I just moved to Southman now in March. And I'm currently working for the Center for Emotional Health.
Okay.
So we work in counseling and medication management. So any like therapy type setting. I currently work with the medication management side. So patients who are coming in to see the psychiatrist, I kind of do all their vitals and stuff and like drug test, pregnancy test, like, getting all of that stuff, getting the patient ready for their appointment. So I work in that.
How do you like doing that?
I love it. It's really cool because before I came to SEU Carolina, I wanted to work in like the medical field. Like I was going to school to be a nurse, and my senior year of high school, I got my CNA certification. Yeah. And then of course at SEU Carolina, I got my degree in psychology. Yeah. I was like, I love both of these things. Am I ever gonna is there ever a way to combine it? And then now I work in a field where I am doing both, and I'm working in psychology field with like doing the actual medical part. So it's awesome.
How did your time at SEU Carolina shape who you are today?
I think it changed it grew pretty much everything about who I am. And I mean that in the best way possible. It made my friends that I have, my group of close friends that I cherish and adore, who hold me accountable, who love me, who pray for me. The education that I got, there's nothing really comparable to it, because yes, you're getting education like you have your entire life before you get to college, but it's different. You're engaging in it. You're becoming a part of your learning, and you're choosing what you're learning. So it's not like stuff you have been in like middle school, high school stuff, where this is what you have to learn. You're choosing what you're learning. You're choosing your own path. And the classes, even though you don't want to take, like public speaking, sermon writing, I don't want to take that. They matter. Yeah. They make a difference, and they will make a difference in your adulthood for sure. Yeah. You learn skills that you didn't even think existed or you would need. And so I like even the little things, they make a difference. Wow.
Well, I'm glad you had such a good experience. And I'm glad to hear that you are able to work in the field in which you studied and were preparing for all along. Now, we have a fun rapid fire round where we will ask 60 questions in 60 seconds. Okay. Are you ready for the challenge?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Okay. You're ready. All right. Ready, set, go. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Introvert or extrovert?
Extrovert, introvert.
Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Karaoke song?
Rich Girl, Gwen Stefani.
Your life song?
Rich Girl, Gwen Stefani.
Biggest pet peeve?
Slurping noises.
Famous person for dinner?
Carrie Styles.
Last thing you Googled?
Next question.
What makes your day better?
My friends.
Famous person for dinner?
Harry Styles.
Last thing you Googled? Oh, I'm sorry. I asked that question. Like, texting or talking? Oh my gosh, am I asking the same question again? Okay, texting or talking?
Talking.
Best day of the week?
Friday.
One thing you can't live without?
My friends.
Nickname?
Pepe.
Favorite book of the Bible?
Esther.
Bible character?
Esther.
Favorite verse?
2 Corinthians 13:11.
Favorite pizza topping?
Pepperoni.
Sweet or salty?
Salty.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Peanut butter.
Pineapples on pizza?
No.
Oh, there we go. We are out of time. Look at you. How many questions do you think you got?
I don't know. So like 20.
So 24. Which really we could grade on a curve, because I asked, 3 questions at the same time? Exactly.
And there's definitely ones that just like coffee or tea. Neither. I don't like either.
You don't like either?
No.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee, I don't need it. I'm already jittery.
So you hate boba tea?
Oh, that's not true. Yeah. I guess I do like boba tea. But like just straight up like herbal tea. Herbal tea is where I draw the line. I was really hoping
you were going to be a boba tea hater.
No, I like it. Like milk tea? You have Thai tea?
It's Orbeez in a glass.
It's great. It's
like a party in your mouth. You're just drinking your drink. Next thing you know, pow, there's an Orby, and pow, there's an Orby.
It fulfills that need to, because you ever had a kid, you ever know the scent bead things that'd be in a container and they were scented. I wanted to eat those my entire life, and so that kind of fulfills that need to eat it.
Okay, you've heard it here. Okay, if I have a question.
Sure.
All right. Final words of wisdom. What advice would you give to current students?
Current students at SEU Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
There's currently one in the studio today. I would say enjoy your time. And when I say don't take it too seriously, I don't mean like don't try your best. I mean in a way of enjoy the time you're at now, because once you're done with school, you're done with school. And it's kind of no more playtime. Yeah. So enjoy your classes, pay attention in your classes. Absolutely pay attention to your classes. Take notes, make friends, be close with the people around you. Live on campus. If you're not living on campus, live on campus if you can.
Yeah.
Learn from your professors, get close with them, get to know them. They're very smart. They're very kind. They know what they're talking about. They live life. They lived it to the fullest, and they have got plenty to share, and they want to share. So get to know them. Yeah, that's...
Wow. That was a book of wisdom.
I've got plenty more.
Well, Peyton, we're so proud of you.
Thank you.
We're proud to call you alumni of SEU Carolina, and we're proud of the work that you're doing in the community today. And thanks so much for coming on the show to share your story.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Well, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in.